O desemprego no Japão continua historicamente baixo, na casa dos 4,5%. Mas em outras áreas da economia e na geopolítica, a situação não é tão confortável. Em 2012, o déficit comercial japonês bateu um recorde histórico de 77 bilhões de dólares. Como se não bastasse a crise financeira internacional, a tensão com a China também não vem ajudando a economia japonesa. Vamos conversar hoje sobre esses assuntos com o nosso convidado, o diplomata Satoshi Katahira, da embaixada do Japão no Brasil, responsável pelos assuntos econômicos. Katahira-san, Mr. Katahira, thank you for joining us here at TV Senado. Is Japan still in a recession? And when can we see a different picture of Japan leaving that recession?
Well, first of all, thank you very much for your invitation to that interview. I'm very appreciate to say something here. And with regard to the Japanese economy, we had been suffering deflation more than 10 years. Deflation is kind of the unique, Brazilian people are well known about how is inflation, but you don't have any deflation.
Deflation, yes.
Deflation. And because of the long-run deflations, as well as over-appreciated yen, Japanese economy suffered long time, and it caused high unemployment and decline of the income. So that's the current situation. And in order to eliminate deflation, it is a kind of the crucial challenge of the current government. At this moment, a new administration led by the new Prime Minister Abe announced a very drastic stimulus package.
Right, and it seems this package includes to issue currency, and the Bank of Japan, which is the equivalent of our central bank here in Brazil, plans to pour a lot of money, new currency in the market, so that you can devalue the yen a little bit. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yes. The Central Bank of Japan mainly focus on the how to control the inflation. That's their main task. But now they try to they announced to set the inflation target at 2%. So it's a kind of historical decision-making by the Central Banking of Japan. The Central Bank of Japan never decided any inflation target. But this time they try to set the inflation target at 2%. That means that you increase the inflation.
Right. So your challenge in Japan is quite interesting, because it's kind of the opposite for us here.
Yes.
While we are trying to control inflation in Brazil, you in Japan are trying to increase inflation, because you also want more consumption in the market to occur, so that the economy can grow through consumption as well, right?
Yes, that's exactly what you say. Yeah.
Right. But on the other hand, this Japanese plan of pouring all this new currency in the market has been concerning other countries, like, for example, Korea, which sees a weakened yen as a threat to their products like cars and other electric equipments, right? How do you see this situation putting Korea and China, for example, in this analysis?
Yeah, I understand that some people criticize that if the Japanese central bank put a lot of money to the market, it may cause the negative impact to the surrounding economy, such as China, Korea. But what the Japanese government would like to do is to strengthen the Japanese economy, not using the kind of temporary measures. This money should be used by the strengthening the economic growth. So, and if Japanese economy is growing, the neighboring country also get the benefit. So that's why we have to think about the much longer term influence by the Japanese government decision.
And that's why one of the main ideas with this new money in the head of Prime Minister Abe's is to invest in infrastructure, right?
Yes.
Can you explain a little bit about that? For example, what kind of roads or tunnels or airports or new train lines would be built to use all this money?
Yeah, Japanese government have already announced the supplementary budget amounting to 13 trillion yen. Roughly speaking, 3.3 trillion reais. This additional money is aimed at the immediate impact on the economy. That means, for example, now the one of the main issue is how to reconstruct the damage of the earthquake of Japan hit in the Fukushima area.
Right.
So even it happened. It happened more than 2 years that those people are suffering, and to establish a new apartment or new the building for them or new the infrastructure is a necessary demand. So first of all, we have to put the money to help the reconstruction process.
Now, does that reconstruction process also include the building of new nuclear plants? Because I understand most of your nuclear plants have been stopped because of the accident in Fukushima. So would that money also be used for that?
At this moment, with regard to the nuclear energy, the public opinion is, we don't have any clear-cut public opinion how to deal with the nuclear energy, or how much, to what extent the Japanese economy depends on the nuclear energy. So that's why we cannot start to build new nuclear plants. So even we could not decide to start the current nuclear generations. Now almost all the nuclear the plant have stopped after the earthquake, and we are discussing whether we will start the operation or not.
Yeah, I mentioned that because the results you had last year in your trade deficit, many people claim was because of the strong yen. So with the strong yen, your products become more expensive, and then you have a problem, a competitive problem.
Yeah.
Now, on the other hand, because of this stopping of many nuclear plants in Japan, Japan also had to start importing more oil and gas. So in other words, the energy costs raised considerably. Now, what do you think is the biggest problem here? The strong yen or the energy deficit?
I totally understand your concern, and some of the businessmen had a similar kind of concern that if the yen is depreciating too much, it may have an extra cost of the for example, energy or any importing goods, importing material to be used by the final product. But this is kind of the timeline. At this moment, the depreciating the yen positive impact of the Japanese economy as a short term. And if the Japanese economy is growing, so maybe we can manage the price increase of the energy. But so that's why the matter is a kind of the short term or medium or longer term issue. And at this moment, many people eager to get depreciating the yen. So
another concern internationally is the size of the Japanese public debt, which, if I'm not wrong, amounts to more than twice your GDP. How do you see that other variable in this context?
That's another headache that the Japanese government have to tackle with. And although we have decided to expend a lot of the additional money to the market, but also we have to consider the balancing of the governmental deficit. So that's why we would like to cut the governmental the budget if it is not necessary, and we would like to concentrate the money to the necessary areas. So that's the first point. And the second point is that if the Japanese economy is the growth faster than the accumulation of the deficit, the balance is we do not consider the problem. So that's why there's a two-way to handle the deficit governmental deficit. One is to cut the expenditure. The other one is to get the increase, get the income.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, talking about income.
Yeah.
It seems like another point in the plans of Prime Minister Abe is to raise taxation in Japan.
Yes.
Could you explain that?
Yeah, actually that decision has made the previous Prime Minister. I mean under the previous administrations. So, but Mr. Abe continued to do so. And
so is he going to change anything, or he's just going to keep the previous administration measure in terms of raising taxation?
Yeah, we the raising the taxation, the income, the consumer tax at 10% is a kind of have already been decided. But the new government would like to modify how to correct the consumer tax. For example, at this moment, the Japanese consumer tax is charged all the product. Basically all the product without any exception. But now the government is considering to, for example, the cheap food, the basic food, we don't need to charge the 10%. Maybe we reduce the consumer tax.
So that's also for social concerns.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're going to alleviate, in a way, the amount of money that lower class people pay for their food, for example.
Yeah, consumer tax is the relatively favor of the higher income people.
Right.
So that's why we have to take care of the lower income people.
Now, talking about government's involvement in these decisions, we know that Japan, Korea, and China have new governments recently. They have chosen new governments recently. And what do you think is going to change in terms of these economic policies, not only in Japan, but also concerning these other countries around Japan, particularly China, because we know about these problems that are going on between Japan and China involving the islands. And the Chinese, they have been avoiding Japanese products in a kind of concern that they're not being treated fairly according to them. How do you see this situation evolving?
Yeah, the relation between China and Japan is quite important for the both countries. The both countries are interdependent too much. So that's why some conflict or some
tension.
The tension between two countries in the political sense. Economic is different. So anyway, we have to highly depend on the Chinese economy, and China also same. So,
but apparently, Chinese consumers have been retaliating Japanese products, right? They have been avoiding buying Japanese products because of these political tensions. Isn't that true?
Yeah, but I don't think that kind of trend continue longer term. So sooner or later, they realize the importance of the Japanese products or Japanese economy.
And why is that? Because these products from Japan also help, for example, the inflation in China to keep low, for example?
Yeah, the many Japanese product come into China. Maybe the China's product comes into Japan, and that parts will make that is a kind of parts of the automobile or something like that. So that's why both the business is closely related.
So you're saying both countries have complementary economies, and complementary industries.
Yes.
Right. One last question now regarding the United States and Europe, which were historically very important markets for Japanese exports. How do you see their situation improving in the medium term, especially in the case of Europe, where the crisis seemed to be deeper?
Yeah, first of all, the United States is quite important for Japan, and from the historical point of view as well as the economical point of view. And economically, I think that we if we consider the added value basis, the most significant trade partner from is not China but the United States. So that's why I think that we have to continue the good relation with United States with regard to the economy, and with regard to the EU. Also, we are closely watching how is going on, how is recovering, how the EU is recovering from the crisis. But I understand that although the process is not so fast speed, but they are going forward the right direction. So I hope the EU economy is getting better.
And finally, just a few words about the relationship between Japan and Brazil.
Yeah,
on the economic side.
Yeah, I think that we have so much of the potential. And unfortunately, at this moment, the both sides does not use such a potentiality 100%. So I hope not only the Japanese businessman, but also the Brazilian businessman may realize the potentiality of the both economies. So that's my remarks.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much for the interview. Nós conversamos aqui com Satoshi Katahira, que é diplomata na embaixada do Japão no Brasil, a respeito da atual crise econômica mundial e como ela vem afetando também o Japão. Se você tem dúvidas, perguntas, sugestões sobre essa entrevista ou outras, entre na nossa página na internet www.senado.leg.br/TV. Até a próxima!